with Dr. Yuri Petrovich Stefurak. He presents us integration of ecotourism and local cultures. Professor Yuri Stefurak is in over 25 years actively solving the problem of conservation and reproduction of the breed of Hutsul horses and other native species of wild animals. And in 2015, he got the Order of the Patriot of Ukraine for the significant contribution, development, and preservation of the Hutsul cultural attributes. Please, Dr. Yuri Petrovich Stefurak, the floor is yours.
He is disconnected. He had joined, but he is disconnected. Hello.
And we can go with the delegate sections.
Yeah, please go. Please go. You start the delegates because the moment he will join again, and then we can invite him again.
Okay, thank you. So the delegate sections begins with the presentation of Mr. Hijam Malen Ngaba Singha. He presents us environmental awareness, sensitization, and capacity building of various target groups in Dima Hasao district of Assam. Mr. Hijam is a research scholar department of zoology, Assam Don Bosco University in Assam, India. Assistant program coordinator in funded project called National Mission on Himalayan Studies, Nature Learning Center for Awareness and Conservation of Indian Mountain Ecosystem. And he's working towards popularizing science and developing young cadres of children to get them involved in participatory conservation, being able to achieve goals by Eco Club schools. Please, Dr. Hijam. The stage is yours.
Hello. Am I audible to everyone? Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Share your screen, please.
Yes, I'm sharing this screen.
You just click the slideshow mode. Slideshow mode.
Is it now?
Yeah. You are
Okay.
Is it okay?
Now it's very good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Respected chair, experts, faculty members, delegates, and other participants. I am Hijam Malem, and I am from Assam, India. And I have recently started my PhD in Assam Don Bosco University, and I'm very new in the research field. So I'm learning so much from all the presenters over here since the last couple of days. I'm very glad to be amongst all of you. So my today's topic is based on my experience in the field when I was working with a project called National Mission on Himalayan Studies, Nature Learning Center. So that is my experience, and this project is still ongoing, and there are a lot to achieve in this project. So I'm just giving a glimpse of what we tried to do and what we achieved. So here it goes. As we know, the Indian Himalayan region is very fascinating. It's due to its landscapes, the species diversity, the various ethnicities, the people around the Himalayas, and natural ecosystems. But we have experience being in the Himalayan region of India, which is the Eastern Himalayan region. We have faced so many difficulties due to the modernization of the 21st century. And in this regard, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change under National Mission on Himalayan Studies, they launched a scheme called the Nature Learning Center Assam. So under that, we exhibited many programs, and I'm going to share some experiences. For the study area, I would like to show you, this is the map of India. So this is the northeastern part of India. The northeastern part of India, it falls in the Eastern Himalayan region. And the district where we conducted our study is this district called Dima Hasao. The Dima Hasao district is the second largest district in the state of Assam in Republic of India. And the coordinates are given here. And it has an elevation of 513 meter, not very, it doesn't have a very high altitude, but yet it supports many species, many biodiversity, which are of particular nature, which are very peculiar to that particular area. And one more important thing about the particular district is that it has the most area covered by forest in the entire country. It has 86.13 area covered by forest in India, which is like the average state average is 35.83% according to Forest Survey of India report. So why we thought of doing this in the particular district called Dima Hasao? Because Dima Hasao is a district which is very biodiverse, very rich in biodiversity, but there are many threats in the particular areas, and there are very lack of awareness in the particular region because of their remoteness and various other regions. And many mainstream conservation programs launched by the government of India and various other programs funded by international agencies also, they don't reach to those areas because they are very remotely located, and the communication, be it the mobile network connection, the road communication, in certain places, the connections, the mobile connection and the road connectivity is very poor. So we thought of exploring those areas, and we thought that it would be very practical if we reach out to those places and try to sensitize people, especially children, so that they can take up some activities which would certainly be helpful for conservation of nature and natural resources. So the objective was to create awareness and sensitize the masses on issues related to biodiversity and natural resources, to create cadres of young students for the promotion of participatory conservation. Here we means the cadres are especially the students where we train the students, teach the students various aspects of environment, various environmental issues, and what are their local issues, local environmental issues, and how to tackle them. And the third objective is to understand challenges of local population in terms of livelihood and make them aware of sustainable livelihood options, and in this particular, like in order to achieve this particular objective, we targeted the women who are supporting themselves, who are working for some self-help groups. There are many self-help groups in rural areas of India where the women support themselves for livelihood. So we call them self-help groups, and we targeted those self-help groups in our study. So we went about a series of activities to achieve our goal. First, we collaborated. The entire scheme was implemented by the Assam Forest Department and Assam State Biodiversity Board. And we collected some secondary data from them, like what is the forest cover there, what are the biodiversity, and what are the challenges there, what are the resources there. We studied about all those, and we contacted with the local forest authority, and we tried to reach out to them. Then we what we did was we visited some schools, in selected schools which are strategically located. By strategic location, I mean that we tried to find out some school which are important in ecological aspect also, this and who are not in the domain of our mainstream conservation also, and who are ignored by many other schemes of government of India or any other organization. So we targeted a few schools and we found out those schools, and initially we started with 3 schools, and we tried to set up nature conservation clubs in those schools. So we found out those schools, and then what we did was we carried out awareness programs in the nature conservation clubs, highlighting significance of local biodiversity, natural resources, threats, and way forward to conserve them. Then what we did next was we took the students from the nature conservation clubs for exposure visits to some local areas which that are of ecological importance, so that they can learn nature from the closest proximity, and they can see the interplay of nature, how different components of nature are interacting with themselves, how they are coexisting. And we wanted to teach the students all those. That's why we took the students for some exposure visits. And then we reached out to the self-help groups, as I already mentioned, the women self-help groups, and we tried to reach out to them, and we shared many things. So these are, so I'm trying to explain a few things about our nature conservation clubs. First, we set up our nature conservation club in Jatinga Gov ME School. It is a government-run ME school. So the speciality, the ecological significance of this area is famous of mysterious suicide of birds. This place is very famous in the state of Assam for the suicide of birds. There is a myth around there that birds come in suicide there. But so we thought that if we establish a nature conservation club there, it will be beneficial for the students and the local population, so that we can aware the students and the local population about what is going around there, and what happened to the birds there, and what led to the hunting of birds there. Because recently we have found from the secondary data that the bird population was going down day by day because of hunting problems. So we chose Jatinga Gov ME School to be one of our nature conservation clubs. So these are the pictures. Secondly, we established our second nature conservation club in Haflong Gov Girls Higher Secondary School. So this is Haflong Gov Higher Secondary School, and the significance of Haflong is it is the only hill station in the state of Assam, pure hill station, and the Boreal range of mountains, and it is part of the Boreal range of mountains. And I have put a few pictures of the Haflong area, because it is the headquarters of the Dima Hasao district also, and it is very well known for its natural beauty. So we chose this particular area so that we can aware the students about various threats on their biodiversity, and which could eventually lead to sensitizing the local population also. And as it is a place where a lot of tourists come, so that we decided to establish our nature conservation club in this particular school. And we established this particular nature conservation club called Waising Ingti ME School. It is located in a forest fringe area. It is located in very rural area, and the mobile connectivity barely reaches these places, and it is well known for this particular waterfall called the Panimur waterfall. It is very beautiful. It is considered to be the Niagara of Assam. So it's very beautiful. So it has and ecotourism aspects also, and there is a man-made lake called Omrangsu where hydroelectric projects are there. So these are very ecologically important, yet places that are in, that are experiencing threats due to many human-induced activities. So we chose this particular school. So these three nature conservation clubs which we established there, and we went for awareness programs. We interacted with the students, and we made them aware about their nature, impact of nature in culture, tradition of the region, their plant species, their species diversity, forest, everything. We talked with the students, and we tried to emulate what kind of natural resources they are having in their particular region, and what they can do to protect the natural biodiversity. Then we use
Sorry, only 1 minute left.
Okay, ma'am. I'm just summing it up. So we used these tools. We published many books and many handheld books, activity guidebooks, and many of these things. We distributed these books to our students so that they can learn about their local things, and we tried to make them do some hands-on activities so that they learn these things very quickly. Then we took them to the various places of ecological importance like Kaziranga National Park, where in India the only one-horned rhinoceros is populated in this particular national park. And we took them to Hajong Tortoise Lake, which is very nearby, and we also started an ex situ conservation site of our natural learning center, so that we can take the students to those ex situ conservation sites, and they can learn about various biodiversity of that particular region. Then we discussed with the self-help groups, and we made them aware of various alternative livelihood options, and we learned about how they wanted to go about what they wanted to opt for their livelihood, and we facilitated. We contacted with various government organizations that are doing various kinds of alternative livelihoods, such as mushroom cultivation, such as weaving, and then honeybee cultivation and cultivations and all. And in the next coming days, we are planning to give all those trainings to this women. So these are our outcomes. So we established nature conservation clubs, and these nature conservation clubs are working in the ground level, and they are protecting the tourist places. They are going to the places, they are putting placards to not litter the places and all. They are reporting to us regularly, and we could reach out to 150 women they are registered under 20 self-help groups. So and the particular Haflong Govt Girls Higher Secondary School Nature Conservation Clubs, they made a plantation program where they planted many plants, especially one orchid species called Phalaenopsis species. So we are very hopeful, optimistic about our program, and we are yet to get results, and we are yet to go forward in this particular program. So we are regularly monitoring it, and we are trying to get good results out of it. So And one thing I would like to mention here is that similar conservation works are going on in various parts of Assam, and under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, one flagship program is called National Green Corps. They are also doing various activities, but the three particular schools that we chose, those three schools were not reached by any conservation program that was launched in the state of Assam. So we thought that this little effort could lead to a huge success in the near future. So we are optimistic. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your interesting presentation. Now,